NFL Week 4 is upon us. We missed last week. We did record, and we won all 5, believe it or not. But Mr. Salim forgot to post it, so we missed that. I told him that's his last chance, or he's pretty much fired from this shit. So hopefully he does a better job today. Now, I have a very special game I'm going to talk about today. I know I said this last time and it lost, but this time around it's going to hit, and I'm going to post it or say it in between this episode. So stay tuned, right? Now, Salim, how are you doing today?
Good,
Don't be
bro.
booty hurt that I just called you out.
Nah, it's all good. I'm excited. I'm excited for this week's episode since you forgot about last week, huh?
Oh, yeah. Okay. I got you. I got you. Bro, I think it's safe and fair to start off with the main game that we're thinking about right now. We're both thinking about. For you guys that don't know, this is the beautiful Miami. Miami just came off a huge win. I had the fucking Broncos. Talk about a crazy fucking bet to lose, man. I like it that way. At least I knew it was done for from the very beginning. But let's start with that game because I do want to talk about it in all seriousness. Bills, Miami, line opened up at -3, -2.5 in Buffalo after Miami put up almost a record-breaking NFL score. Let's start off with you, Salim. What do you think about that since you're a Dolphins fan?
A Tua believer. I'm torn, man. I think I could go either way, man. I'm almost like a 50-50. Feel like Miami, they get scared every time they see Buffalo over there in Buffalo. It's shaky. I love the Dolphins. I think Tua's the man, and I think they'll do good, but it's also like Buffalo off to a slow start. But I know when they see Miami, they want to make a fucking point.
They want to make a point. It's a divisional match. It's in Buffalo. I'm making a rule for myself for the remainder of the season where I'm not going to bet against Miami or for Miami, just like the Heat. Just because it's just too much shit. It feels just wrong to bet against them. But I'll be honest, believe it or not, I like Miami in this game. I think I know why Buffalo is favorite in this game. It makes sense, just historically, Buffalo, power ranking, all that stuff. I like Miami as a small underdog. I'd probably buy the hook, take him at 3. But I did want to touch on that game because I know everybody's going to slam Miami or think about Miami. I'd stay away from that game, guys. And here's why. Most of you probably thought this line was going to open up even. I know most of you guys maybe believed Buffalo was going to be favored, but that line is a little bit trappy. I think Vegas is trying to lay up a trap here. Most people are going to be excited to take the Dolphins because they just fucking destroyed Denver. But I don't know. Think again. It's a game that for me, I'd stay away for. Denver Bears. Denver Bears is another game I want to talk about because it's in Chicago. Denver, they just got destroyed. Chicago is looking terrible, man. Chicago's looking like the worst team out there. Justin Fields is looking bad. I think he's lacking confidence. That's what I see because he's a stud. He's taking too long to throw the ball. Yeah, they're not staying in the field long enough, man, and their defense are getting tired. There's no shot that I would ever take the Bears in this game. I think Russell Wilson played pretty solid last week in the first half. He was keeping up with the Dolphins until he wasn't able to score. But I trust Russell Wilson more. In the first quarter, there was signs of him playing really well. I don't know if you agree because they were playing the Dolphins.
Yeah. Honestly, I'm a Dolphins fan, but I had to tell the play. So I had the +6. It looked good. They went down, I think, 2 touchdowns. They come back. They put up 7. It looked easy at that point. I was like, okay, their offense is getting into a little groove. And even when they went down 7-0, there was a catch there. I think it was either Jerry Jeudy or Sutton. It was a catch. And then the coach he decided not to challenge. I guess it's too early on, but I feel like that was a pivotal point in the game. You look back at it and you go down the drive and you tie this thing up 7-7, we could be looking at a whole different ballgame.
They had an opportunity, I believe, Tua threw an interception, or it was just a Dolphins turnover. Right before the second half ended, they had the ball. They were going to be able to make it, I believe, 14-21. They got the ball in the second half. So it was good. It would have been a good position. And they fucking fumbled it. And then the Dolphins went out and scored. And that pretty much ended the game. Let's see what happens with that game. It's going to be an interesting one. Again, so you start getting value out of these more rather than just picks. I follow certain rules. And one of the rules I do is I don't take shitty teams. I don't like taking Chicago in this case. I don't trust them. There's nothing to believe in them right now, even though it's in Chicago. And I don't want to take Denver. I just don't trust them either. It's a game I wanted to touch on because I feel like the public is going to be big on Denver. That's what I saw recently. I don't know if that's true or not, but I think they are going to be big on Denver just because of how bad Chicago's been playing. But it's a game that I think is more 50-50 than most expect. But with that said, that's why I'm not going to touch it. But let's talk about a game that I am going to touch. Let's talk about a game that I'm going to put my money in. and that you guys should tell. A big one. And there's two of them, but I'm going to talk about one right now. And that's one that, man, I'm going to talk about my boy D. Henry. I'll tell you guys a little story here. We had fantasy. If you play fantasy, Derrick Henry was pretty much positioned to go like 10th in the draft. I had the second draft pick, and I drafted my boy D. Henry, man, because I believe in him. I just don't believe in his quarterback, but it's all good. I think that's a scrappy team. And that's the game I'm going to talk about right now. Bengals, Titans, +2.5. Titans at home. Titans is the play, guys. Titans is a play. I know Joe Burry and Jamar Chase and Mixon and all the above. Boyd, I also have him on fantasy. They bounce back, but do they look good, man? What'd you think about that Bengals game versus the Rams? I didn't think they looked that good, man.
I think it was a bad game overall, man.
It was. It was just
I didn't like, to be honest with you, I think I didn't even bother looking at the second half, man. It was like a shit
It was
bowl.
a field goal freaking fest.
Yeah, bro. I didn't like it. Derrick Henry, I'm still gonna give you shit for taking him second in your league. So many better options, but
Man, like when you know football, you know football, and when you don't, you don't. And that's what I like to say to people that say that type of shit. It's okay. I've pretty much won my fantasy every year. So, have you?
You play what with high school kids?
I play with middle school kids, but I still win. But in all seriousness, man, I think D. Henry will take over that game. That team's gonna get better. I just don't know if Tannehill's going to be their full-time, long-term quarterback, man. I think there'll be a point where they'll start looking at the rookie, the Kentucky rookie. Guy's a stud. Tannehill is he's a very confident person, man. I think Tannehill's that type of dude that, bro, he could go out there, throw 5 picks, come out, and still just be confident. With that said, I give him respect. I think he can play any type of game. He could play like a stud. I think that team's poised to win that game in Tennessee as a bounce-back spot. And I don't know about you, how you see lines. When I see things that look too good to be true, I question them. And this was one of those. I saw Bengals as a too good to be true play. Playing Tennessee, -2.5. Money line's rather low. Bengals have owned that matchup. Over the last 6, the Bengals have won 5 of them. Yet the line is like that. So a game to look at. I'm recording this on Thursday. This is Thursday, 12:54 p.m. So a lot can change. I want to see injuries. I want to see the depth chart. I want to see how the line moves. And a lot of information that's missing. But that's the lean I'm taking right now. Is that the big play? I'll let you guys know by the end of the show. But that is one of the leans I am taking this weekend. Again, not necessarily the biggest play of the day, but one that I'm looking at. I think one that I also want to talk about, and I'm going to take probably one nobody expects me to take. And Salim can jump in at whatever point. If you don't agree with it, I want you to jump in so I can, make fun of you.
Now I'm excited.
Yeah, man. So what do you think about the Dallas Patriots game this weekend? 4:25 p.m. Dallas Cowboys -6.5 favorites. Opened up at -7, pushed down to 6.5 at home. Dallas after just losing to the Arizona Cardinals. The team that was projected to do the worst in the league. The Cowboys just lost to them. They're looking like the classic old fucking Cowboys. What do you think about that game?
Man, I don't know. I like New England, man. Honestly, I think the first 2 weeks that I saw New England play, because we took them, they showed me something. I think they get off to a slow start, but I like Mac Jones, bro. I think a kid has a good arm. He's got good reads, but it is the Dallas Cowboys. But it's also huge line. I'm looking at it here, 6.5. I don't know, man. If I had to put my money on it, I'm not the expert here, but I'd probably look into New England. Dallas.
New England. All right, boys. I'm taking the Cowboys -6.5 that day. That is my biggest play of the year. So no, I'm just kidding. Not the year, but I do like the Cowboys, and that's why I said I think it was going to go the opposite way that you thought of. Because I am going to go with the bounce back spot. I like that the line moved down to 6.5. I think the Patriots allow too many yards in the air. As a matter of fact, I think they are the team that allow the most passing yards, and that's not going to go well against a team like Dallas. Man, Lamb's balling. They just got a good team. They're at home. They're expected to do good. They just lost to the worst team. I think it'll be a game that they win and cover that spread. And I believe most people are going to think about it like you did in a way. Patriots, they're a scrappy team. Mac Jones, all of the above. But I do see this as a bounce back spot. It is week 4. I would say right now, starting probably this week, next week, and week 6, you're going to start seeing what teams are for real and what teams are for not. Like what teams have been getting lucky, what teams got a little momentum in the early season, but it faded off because they're not really the truth, I guess you can say. And we're gonna start seeing that a bunch. I'm not saying I believe Dallas is gonna be the Super Bowl champion because it's hard to bet for Dallas, but I'm here to say that I think they'll get far. I think they'll have one of the best records, and the regular season they will compete. They'll probably choke in the playoffs like they typically do, but I am liking the Dallas Cowboys that day. I am liking them to bounce back. I am liking them to make a statement. And it's Bill Belichick. You guys know it more than anyone. I bet them 2 times to start the year. I'm big on them. I like them too. But let's be real, man. After 3 games, have they shown you enough? They almost didn't cover against the Jets. It was a low-scoring game. They can't put up points.
Which you called. You also said that it was gonna be. That was a little bit of a trappy line. So
it was a trappy line, bro. That game was just external factors. It was meant to land at 3, 2.5, whatever, and then just that safety. Vegas wants to kill Zach Wilson, and that's that. What'd you think about the Houston, bro? The Houston Texans last week against Jacksonville.
Bro, I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm so disappointed in Jacksonville. I can't believe they have so much offense, and that's one of the things I wanted to ask you today. Like, is Trevor Lawrence for real or is he not? They got a crazy running back in Etienne. They have his backup. I forgot his name, but the guy's catching passes for touchdowns. They got great receiving core. I thought, bro, Ridley was going to be the stud of the year. He's getting all these targets, but they're just not connecting, man. Christian Kirk is the one doing the work, but
Kirk got paid last year. He's meant to be there. But look, bro, I think it's early in the season. I think they're a team they're going to make a late push. I think they're going to be more like Detroit Lions. They'll pick it up. There's new pieces there, man. And Lawrence is getting used to it again. He should be better. There was no excuse for last week, bro, honestly, because I'm pretty big on the Jaguars this year too. But I think it's too early to even determine that. Honestly, I think I think week 4, 5, and 6, you start seeing what teams are legit. You really do. For example, a team that I'm not saying they're going to be, again, a team that's to look out for to win the championship or to win their division and all that. But a team that's has a bad record that, bro, they're better than what it is. I would say too, man. I'd give one of them is the Vikings. The Vikings are just struggling to run the ball because they lost Dalvin Cook. The moment that running game starts clicking, that team's going to be really fucking good. Because Kirk Cousins, you can agree with me, he's putting up points. He's doing really well. The offense is running through him. But when you don't have a running game, the defense can predict what you're about to do pretty often, and they're still attacking pretty well. And the other one is the Chargers. They lost. They're 1-2. They almost lost that game last time out against the Vikings. It's another team, man. They have a good quarterback. So I'm excited to see how the season unfolds. I think we're still very early on, but we're going to start seeing who's legit and who's not. Before I give out the main plays that I'm going to take this weekend, I'm going to give my boy, my twin here, the mic and let him talk about players that he's thinking are going to do good. Take it away.
All right. Here we go. So tonight, as long as Aaron Jones plays, right now everybody thinks that he's going to play, but that's what I thought last week, and then he sat out. I think Aaron Jones has a good chance to bounce back. I feel like they've been missing that run game as well, and I love it. So I love him and Jordan Love right there, just bouncing off each other. So Aaron Jones, I'm excited to see what he does tonight. I'm curious to see Swift and the Eagles is taking over that number 1 role. Came from the bench basically. Gainwell was out 1 game and now he's running with it. He's got over 100 yards the last 2 games. So I'm excited to see how he does.
It was impressive on Monday. I'll be honest. That guy carried that team.
Yeah, that guy looks good, man. Yeah, and then obviously Justin Fields, I think he bounces back this weekend. We're staying away because it's a shitty team both ways, but I do see him bouncing back. Other than that, you said it, Justin Herbert and Keenan Allen. I think that's easily the best stack in the game right now for fantasy. If you have them both, I don't know, man, you might just win your league. Now Mike Williams is out, so he's only going to get even more targets. And then my last pick is Kenneth Walker on Monday against the Giants. That guy's
the score?
Rushing touchdowns.
Yeah, no, he's a beast, bro. He's a beast. I think he'll do great. I think it's going to be a very interesting game Monday night. That line's another really tight one. No, I'm with you, man. I'm with you. I think Detroit might be regretting a little that decision of letting go Swift. Let's see. It's still too early in the season, but they got this kid. He's good. But let's see, man. Let's see how you do. I wish you well. I'll be tracking them and putting my money on it. If I fucking lose, I'm going to call your ass out. So let's go to the picks that I'm going to go ahead and give you. I gave it to you guys already. But I think the main one that I'm big on this weekend, and it hurts to say, man, but I already said it. It's the Dallas Cowboys. I don't like betting for them that much because they typically let me down. But I just can't resist this position right now, especially after last week. They lost. Buy low. That's what investors do. You buy low, you sell high. That's what I like to do a lot of the times. And I'm also leaning on the Titans. A lot of information needed for me to finalize these plays and make the plays. But as of now, as of Thursday, I will be taking these plays. If you follow my page at AF Sports with double S, you'll see it in the description below. You see that all my results are posted every single day with my week update. I put my money where my mouth is every single day. And also have a free Telegram where I share some plays 3 to 4 to 5 times a week, I would say. So if you're looking for free action, build your bankroll and see what I'm about, you can see them there. Again, guys, I invest. We don't gamble. We take this long term. We see this as a very minimum month-to-month thing, not a weekend thing. I can care less about NFL, college, basketball, college. I don't care about sports. I care about winning. I care about making money. And that's what it's about, making money. If you're not making money, then you're just having this as a hobby. And like I like to say, golf is a hobby that takes a lot of money from you. The only people that get paid are people that see it like a pro. If you see this like a professional as a business, you're going to make money, but you got to have discipline, systems, and the right habits. Salim has been part of my team now for, I'd say, a year. He's seen it. He joined the team, now officially part of the team, I guess you can say, helping me out with a lot of things here in the recent months after I made him a believer in the system. And that's what I like to do with my clients, but they got to see it long term. Salim, anything you got to say?
That's it, man. Let's have a good weekend.
Let's have a good weekend, guys. If you do win and you cash some plays, make sure you comment, share the show if you found it valuable, if you found it funny. If you don't, then don't. That's how value exchange works. And yeah, man, let's cash some bets. Go Bills. See you guys next week.